Oh yeah. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Okay, it's recording. We're gonna start streaming. Uh, say something real quick. Now say something real quick.
Something real quick.
Okay, good. That
Hi.
that means you can't be heard unless you're on the screen. So I got to remember that. Okay. All right. That's good. Oh, headphones. Oh my God. This is what I go through this every fucking time. It's madness. And it's 7 o'clock. All right. All right. Now I can hear you. All right. All right. The stream is streaming. The live video is streaming on Facebook. Go live now. Manually start live video. And we are live and direct from beautiful downtown Newark, New Jersey. It's your man Manny Faces live streaming a very special personal event. Now it's personal for me, so if you know me, then that's cool. You're like, oh, that's Manny. Oh, this is personal. Oh, I love Manny. He's great, and I want to pay attention because I know him. I love him. He's fabulous. Um, but this is special because even if you don't know me, this is important. Okay, so there could be some benefit to you paying attention to me if it's being shared by someone and you're like, who the hell is this guy Manny, and why would I look at his face? I'm already quarantined. I have all this stuff to deal with. um, so do share this video. It is important. It's a public service announcement of sorts. You will see that I am celebrating a kidneyversary, and I'll explain what that's all about. But the long story short is that a year ago today, I donated a kidney. So I have one less kidney than most of you, and I donated it to my daughter. And I talked about it in the past, but it's 1 year, and because it's 1 year, and because we're going through this whole thing, I couldn't get together in person and celebrate and hug her. And she's doing great, by the way. I'm doing great a year later. So we're gonna get into all that, but I'm letting some people trickle in, letting people wander into the live stream uh, to see what the hell this is all about. I want to shout out to some early stragglers that are stumbling into the quarantine inn. Shouts to my brother Eddie. Shouts to my other brother Jay Silent Night, who I work with a lot on a number of different things. A great artist. I think Silent Night's going to be rocking tonight online as well. Uh, so all love to my artists. Love to all obviously the obligatory love to all the frontline workers, people out there, healthcare workers, grocery store workers. I had to go grocery shopping this week, and I was like, I'm not really a God person, but I was like, God bless you, just in case there's a God that I want them to be blessed, because they're out there, working, and some of them don't have the choice. You know what I mean? Because they may not they can't they won't make money, and they don't get 2 weeks paid vacation, or they don't get sick leave or whatever. So that being said, shouts to everyone else. Yo, what up to my big man Mike Conforti is in the building. What up, Mike? What up, Mike Moet? Yeah, my man, my mellow is checking in. That's oldest boy faces to y'all. So we got family, we got extended family, we got adopted family, all on the check-in, and I hope that my hip hop family tunes in as well, because I know that, like I said, what I'm talking about tonight is very personal, but it's very relatable. It happens everywhere, and even though we're in the middle of a coronavirus pandemic and all the things that are happening, I felt it was important 1 year after donating a kidney to my daughter who needed it, that we talk about it. Because if just normally when I do things, when I put out videos or I put out podcast episodes, I want everyone in the world to hear it, and I get mad as hell when I don't get the numbers or the ears. and it bothers me. It's we're creators. That's how we get. We're sensitive about our ish. Shouts to Erica Badu. Um, but with this, it could just be one person. Just could be one person that listens to what I'm saying tonight and decides like, wow, pandemic or no pandemic, I might look into this kidney donation thing because it's a lifesaver. Um, I did it. I'm not particularly brave. I got family in the military, and they're like, "Hey, I'm in the military," and I'm like, "Hey, that's some stuff I couldn't do." So good for you. You know what I mean? The cops, firefighters. I'm like, I make podcasts, and I go on and I do the hip hop. I'm not trying to go out there and do all those. I'm not particularly brave. Um, but this took a lot of courage, some would say, but it's for your kids, so it's different. So it really was nothing. But that all being said, it wasn't that scary. It was pretty manageable. A billion, it's not a billion, this is not a scientific number. A billion kidney donations happen every year. It's about as safe a pre-planned thing that you can do, like major surgery. You can go the rest of your life without a kidney, without two kidneys. And for someone that needs a kidney, it's a game changer. It's like if I said to you, "Hey, you have no legs," and you're like, "All right, I'm just gonna waddle around the house like a seal." That's cool. But if I was to be like, "Bong, here's one leg and a crutch," well, you could live under those, so you can move and operate like a regular person. And that analogy, I think, as botched as it may be, relates to how it is to get a kidney when you need one, when you're in dialysis, when both your kidneys failed. But I'm gonna let someone talk to you about exactly if that analogy is accurate or not, what it's like to go through needing a kidney. I got a couple of people that are close to me besides my daughter. I think we all probably know somebody that might be in dialysis or have kidney problems. I have two people that are close to me that have these issues, one of which is my sister in law, Wendy. One of which is a brother named Mike Hands. His name is Christopher Rogers, aka Mike Hands. A lot of people. I'm a New York hip hop guy. I'm very much into the culture and the community in New York hip hop, and very many people will know Mike Hands. Mike Hands is in need of a kidney, undergoing sort of the same kind of situation and treatment that my daughter was just a year ago. Just for the past 4 years until a year ago. So once again, shouts to Summer tuning in. Shouts to Eddie. Shouts to my main man Mike with my little moo by his side. Quack quack. Shouts to Valencia, who's always on a check-in. I appreciate you. Shouts to Rissa. Oh, what up, Shark? So I got a lot of people checking in. Do share this video if you can, real quick. It's probably easy to do. Whatever you're watching me on, just share it real quick. Try to get some people that might not be in my direct circle because, again, I'm very vain and I want people to pay attention to me and the things I say. But this is different. This is not about me. This is about, I'm bringing you in now, girl. Get ready. This is about us. And I want to say hello to my daughter, Portia, who is now on the
Hi.
screen. I think you can see her. I think you can hear her. She is looking fabulous.
Thank you.
I may not
You
do
as well.
well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I may not do everything right in life, but I make some pretty ass babies. So there is that.
That is very
Relax.
true. All my
So
siblings can attest.
yes, indeed. So on the Facebook, where this is the main source, you're seeing me. Just make sure you do see my daughter, my lovely daughter. Looks like you are being seen in your full splendor. So I thank you for taking the time joining me tonight.
Of
And
course.
I
It's our
know
anniversary,
it's our anniversary,
and we can't do anything else. So
and we yeah, and we can't do anything else. Like we had a big shindig plan. Shouts to
Oh.
Mount Sinai, the
yes,
hospital in Manhattan that handled our
surgery.
surgery,
much.
our donation thing. Uh, uh, Mike 40 says you look beautiful. I think he's talking about
Thanks,
me,
bro.
but he might be talking about you.
Thank you, brother.
Mount Sinai was really great. They have so the donor community for us living donors, once you have your kidney, they're like, okay, have fun, congratulations, go back to life. But
Yeah.
for the donors, they give some love. They have like quarterly get-togethers, and we gather with other donors, and I meet like just weird donors, and sometimes the recipients are there. And then we
Hmm.
were supposed in April every year, which is the it's funny we did this during April because it's the like uh donation month.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
you know, like breast cancer month, and so this
Yeah.
is like, yeah, this
April
is
is
like
the month for
organ donation
yes,
month. Yeah,
it is.
and they have a yearly gala. I don't know how to. I never
Yeah, they
knew. I
actually
don't.
sent me a letter of that too, telling me to
Did
come.
they?
I think it was like the 20 something.
It was.
I'm
It's
not
supposed to be like.
sure.
It's supposed to be like this. Like, yeah, like now, like right
Like
around the
this week,
time.
I think, like the
Yeah.
past week it was. Yeah.
So it would have been great because they bring all the people that they helped, facilitate a donation for over the past
Hmm.
year, um, into like this gathering, and they celebrate you, and it's a really great thing. It's a really cool like kind of after community, but we'll get to that. I want anyone who's paying attention, once again, share this video. I'm talking with my daughter, the lovely, talented Portia Conforti, checking in from Strong Island, Long Island, where she
Yeah.
rests. Yeah, yeah. Word up.
Big ups, Long Island.
That's it. Long Island, my home area, and
Mhm.
I'm in Newark, New Jersey. We're checking in by a far. We can't even be close. Like we can't even
Oh,
drive by and wave, like because of this whole
right?
thing.
Like take a
It's
toast from the
yeah,
car. No.
So but we're gonna I'm just taking a quick second to make sure our technology is working.
Okay.
There's a lot of things going on right now. Uh, I want to make sure that this is still Island where she
Yeah.
rests. Yeah, yeah. We're good. I think we're good. Word up. Anyway, so I appreciate everyone checking in on the comments and Facebook just to let us know we're good. So you keep letting us know we're good and throw some thumbs up and all that stuff. So I just want to sort of tell people where you were in life that you happen to need a kidney. It wasn't just me; it was anybody. You were, first of all, anyone can donate a kidney to anyone.
Yeah.
Just like some basic facts, a kidney donation from a lot of kidney recipients get
Hmm.
get their kidneys from deceased people. So if you donate
Yeah.
organs and you die in a car crash, God forbid, sometimes they'll harvest your organs and they'll
Hmm.
give them to people who need them. But you can also have a living donor, which is what happened in
Yeah.
our case.
Hmm.
Um, we'll explain all that to the people. But for now, why did you need a kidney? You're so young. You're now what, 28 years old?
Yeah.
I hope I got that right because I'm your dad. Um, but you're 28 years old. At the time of this, you were 27. And at the time this whole thing started, you were like 24.
For yeah, 24.
What happened?
So I mean, long story short, because it was like a long story.
Yeah.
I got diagnosed with hypertension, which is high blood pressure, which tons of people actually have. Is actually a silent um disease, I want to say, but you don't really notice it. You don't really have symptoms too much. Like as I was growing up, like teenager wise, I always
Mm.
just had like mild headaches, or and I'm thinking it's just regular, girl stuff, cramps, whatever. But
Right. I
they were
drank
kind
too
of
much.
constant. Yeah, so but it was kind of
Like a
constant a
long
lot. And
story.
also I took like a lot of Advil and Aleve, which is
Yeah.
actually a number one cause for liver and kidney problems,
Right.
as I later found out in life.
Right.
But it was mostly just hypertension. I also had a slight thing of lymphoma on one of my
Mm.
kidneys. So it pretty much sparked from that, just
Yeah.
really blood pressure and having the lymphoma.
And you're not, as a young person, you're not testing for high blood pressure. You're not
Yeah,
like
no, it's
conscious
not.
of it.
I mean, I think you're actually supposed to tell your doctor that, like, oh, I want to be tested for it, because it's weird, because I was going to the doctors and my results and everything was coming back regular, like, whatever the regular blood pressure is for
In the range or
right in
whatever.
the
Yeah.
range. I was
Mm-hmm.
always in the range. So it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, you got what I'm saying? One day I just thought that I was sick, like food poisoning. And, I was throwing up. I was using the bathroom constantly. And
Yeah.
I went to the hospital and they're like, no, like all your levels is up. Like your kidney function is high, more than normal. Your blood pressure is through the roof. And I'm just like, I never thought I had any issues with my blood pressure. So it's
Yeah.
really important to actually get that checked and to even get blood work done to find out any underlying conditions that you might have, because it's not really noticeable a lot of times.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as we hear a lot about underlying conditions.
Yeah.
Certain communities, obviously, if you don't have access to health care, if you're not, really, have great health insurance,
Yeah.
but even if you do, a lot of people don't go to the doctor every year. They don't go for
Hmm.
regular yearly checkups, especially when you're young, because
Right.
you're
And
like,
because you feel fine and you just like,
right,
oh no, there's nothing wrong with me. You got what I'm saying? I'm not sick. I never, I don't catch
right.
colds often and stuff, but it's really something that you should just get checked out anyways.
Yeah, 100%. Because underlying, like you say, there could be something going on there. You might have a heart murmur or just some
Yeah.
things you wouldn't know was happening unless you were being checked out on a regular
Right. And
basis.
thoroughly, like
Yeah,
blood
yeah.
work and everything,
Right. Not just going to like, Tony who does tattoos and
Please don't.
physicals. I'm just saying, like, he's trying to diversify his small business operations. Um, So okay, so your kidneys are failing. You're getting sicker. You're going through
Yeah.
this whole thing. You find out that they tried some things on you,
Yeah.
some treatments or whatever,
Right.
and
Because
after a
it was
while,
chemo treatments first.
yeah, to try to kind of boost like give them a boost, like to give your kidneys some strength to come back, fight it off.
Right, right, because the chemo treatments were to fight off the lymphoma on one
Right.
of my kidneys. But I mean, chemo, anybody that's has cancer, it's God bless you, because that is a serious thing.
Yeah.
It does a lot, more problems to your situation sometimes, but it ended up killing off my other kidney. So even if I was cool with one kidney being messed up, like
Yeah. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
we are now, but
Yeah.
no, it messed it up to the point where both of my kidneys were damaged to the point of
Yeah.
no return. And the only option I had was to be put on dialysis. So
Right. So we hear about dialysis. Obviously we know about we hear about it, but we
yeah.
don't know necessarily what that means unless you know someone that does it. We also hear about
Right.
old people, like a lot of older people are on
Yes.
dialysis, grandmamas or grandparents or but there are young people on dialysis. So
Yeah.
just real quick for those who don't know, explain
Hmm.
dialysis and what it's like to go through that.
Okay, so dialysis is a machine. Basically, it's a treatment that's done through a machine. They have to place like a fistula or a graft inside your arm or your chest. At first it's in your chest. And what it basically does is it drains the dirty blood and fluid that's like locked into your body, because I don't know if everybody knows, but when you lose your kidney function, you don't pee, like you don't urinate at all. So
Right.
in your body, it's a buildup, because we have to let out waste. So your
Right.
body is retaining your waste, like, you got what I'm saying. So you could go number two bathroom, whatever, but
Right.
the
The kidney
water,
processes
right,
the
right,
what eventually comes out as
exactly.
peeing. Yeah.
Right. So you can't actually get that out of your system. So, this is why like some people get fat in their faces, their stomach, their legs, their hands, like very weird places. But
Mm.
so what the dialysis machine does is it's two tubes that go into each side, on wherever, the graft or fistula is. And one pulls out the blood and the fluid, which is the toxins, and then it cleans it in the machine, and then it gives it back to you. So it gives you the good blood and like the
Right.
good fluids that you need for your body.
Right.
Um, yeah, so
Filtering
that,
out.
right, it filters it out basically, and
Yeah.
it gives you back the good stuff that need to survive basically. Because when you're too much on the toxins, you feel very very sick. You feel very drained. Like you have mental confusion, which was weird to me at the time, but it does a lot to your brain and it does a lot to your body.
You
So
had seizures
yeah.
as well.
And I never had seizures a day in my life. I never had
Mhm.
problems
Right.
before. But yeah, because it was too much toxin buildup in my
Yeah.
system. And although you also take medicine when you're on dialysis, because like I had to take blood pressure pills, I had to take
Right.
like before I eat food, because also like in your system, it doesn't break down, the good food, like the good nutrients in your body to the bad, and how it wastes out.
Mm.
Everything is just on you. Like there is no,
No,
separation of the
right.
two. Like
The
everything is
filters.
just there. Like yeah, the
Yeah.
filters are gone. Like everything is just right there. Like it's just all on you.
Yeah.
So it does something to your brain where it gets to be too much and your brain can't control it and you just,
Mm,
you go into a seizure, like,
right.
and
Bug out.
yeah, and then it happened so weirdly. Like my first one ever was so weird. Like I'm in the bathroom, like using the bathroom regularly, and then it's like I just got confused. Like I couldn't remember how to flush a toilet. I couldn't remember how to turn off the sink.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying? And I'm walking to my actually, I was at my grandmother's house. I was at Nana's house, daddy.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm walking and I'm like, I think something is wrong. Like, and then as I'm saying that to her, as she's talking back to me, I just remember going into like I think it's called like a convulsion, if I'm not mistaken.
Convulsions. Like, yeah.
Convulsion, right. And it just like,
Yeah.
I just started and I don't remember it like
Yeah.
past that. Like I don't remember. I just woke up in the hospital. Like
Yeah, I remember coming. I mean, they
so
told me I had to come up to the hospital, and it's like, what are you
yeah,
talking about? Like, I know
that's
you
really
got kidney
scary.
failure. I know you do dialysis, but all this, there's like so many sort
Like
of
side
branches.
effects.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
told me so dialysis for people, again, for people who don't know, you go
Hmm.
3 times a week,
Yes.
so you have to physically go somewhere,
Hmm.
and you have to
Up in the hospital. Like
yeah, I remember
and
coming.
you
I
have to
mean, they
physically
told me I had to come up,
go
sit in a chair for a
yeah.
couple of hours,
It's about 3.5 hours,
3 times a week,
3 times a week,
no matter what,
no matter what,
every
and
week.
every week. And
Doesn't
and
matter
let
if
me
you
tell
work
you,
in, doesn't
for
matter if you like, you better
no,
go.
there has to be a schedule. Like, and to the point where in the beginning I had night sessions. So it was like from I want to say 7 o'clock, 8, 9, 10 to like 10ish, but they stay open until midnight. So
Yeah,
in case you come late or something like that, you know what I'm saying, they'll still schedule you in.
yeah.
But it's like you have to get it done because if you don't, it'll build up. Like, and this is how, like from experience. So everybody that might know people who have to do it and they don't want to do it, please tell them to do it because this is why I had the seizures. I was in
Mm.
denial at first. I'm like, no, I don't really think I need dialysis. You know what I'm
I only
saying?
got to go twice a week. You
Yeah,
know.
no, honestly, like,
Yeah.
and seriously, I'm like, nah, I went already. I took off enough fluid, but you never
Right.
realize how much your body, as a healthy regular person, how many times you use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? You never really, you don't count how many times you went to the
Yeah.
bathroom today. Like you
You
wouldn't
take it for
say, like,
granted. Yeah.
right? It's just you go to the bathroom and you don't realize it. But for a person that has kidney problems, it's like double for a healthy person. It's
Right.
double
Right.
because like I said, even the foods that you eat has water in it, things like that. So it's like you have to go. Like
Yeah.
even if you don't feel like going, you still have to go. And it was
Yeah.
many days I felt like I don't even feel like going today. I'm so tired. You still have to go.
Right. Right. And for many people, you still got to work. You still got to. You're a
Exactly.
mom.
Yep.
In the early days, you were still working,
Yeah.
and you had to
And
take off and like
I
try
had to
to.
take off
Yeah.
because my like your muscles, like your bones start feeling weird. Like I couldn't lift things without, like, how when you work out and after you feel like you worked out,
Yeah.
I would feel that every day without physically
Just
working out.
regular. Right.
Just regular walking up the steps. Like I'm
Yeah.
out of breath. I'm like extremely tired. Like you would have thought like I was lifting like 100-pound weights. Like you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like more than what I weigh. So
Right.
it
Right.
it was really like it was really something. Like it's like, yo, you wouldn't even think to like these problems would occur because
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, you're just thinking like, oh, it's just my kidneys. Like, no, it's your entire body. Like it does something to your entire
It
body.
does something to the entire body. If you're just checking in on the live, we are here kicking it. See man, Manny Faces. I'm with your girl, Porsche Delancey in the
Yep.
house. My daughter, who is the recipient of my kidney. I have one less kidney
Yes.
today because last year, today, we sat down and went under the knife. And we I gave her a kidney. They took
Yeah.
my kidney out, my fat, juicy, beautiful. They said it was a beautiful kidney,
No,
and
really. Well, we have to talk about that too. But
yeah, the
yeah.
doctor was like, "It's a beautiful kidney," and you weigh like 86 pounds, so like they had to move your like
More
chest out
like
of the way.
96 pounds, Dad. Don't drag
Um,
it. 86 pounds.
we're talking about life before, during, and after this kidney donation process, just to let people know what it's like, how important it is, what people on dialysis are going through, and then we'll talk about how I hate to say it's not easy. It ain't
No.
easy to give a kidney,
No.
but it's manageable. It's something you can do, whether it's a loved one. There are people who give kidneys to strangers. There's literally people that are
Yes.
like, I just want to be altruistic. And I know that there are people out there who need kidneys. There's a
Yeah.
huge list of people. There's a 7 year wait generally, 6 to 7
Yeah.
year wait. Uh, and of course, if you love someone, if you have a loved one that could be a, that might be a good recipient, there's things you could do to test to see if you might be a possible, potential, or probable match
Yeah.
for them, which is what happened with us. So just telling people you were rocking this dialysis for several years. Evie on the check-in asks, what kept you strong during the dialysis treatments? It was rough. It's not an easy thing to go through.
Yeah.
What kept your head up?
Well, I'm a mom. I have a 9-year-old son. He's 9 now. At the time, he was about 5.
Yeah.
Um, and I was brought up in church, so I have a lot of faith in God. So it was just between those two. It was my son, it was my
Strong
family.
during the dialysis.
It was God at the same time. It's just like I couldn't give up because as much as I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? There was days where I just was like, I can't do this anymore. It was just always something like, nah, you have to live for your kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't be, I don't want to be that one that just gives up. And he's like, well, my mom fought, but you know, so it was really between them.
I
It was
got
my
you.
son and God. Yeah.
Hey, listen, that's about as good motivation as you can get.
Yeah.
How they say, God is good,
Yes. All the time.
and all the time.
God is good.
There it is. I be knowing. Uh, well, whatever you need to get through, right?
Yeah. No, seriously.
Now, I came into the mix, and I obviously, so backstory to the people who don't know all the details.
Hmm.
We didn't grow up together. You didn't grow. I
Yes.
didn't raise you directly, but through the years we had our relationship. We spent our time together. We hung out, and as you got older, even more so, and we had a pretty good relationship, I think.
Yes. Yes.
So we knew each other. you weren't
Right.
you weren't some
Right. Wasn't
rando.
it like I just met you and it's like, oh, you know what? Let me just give you my kidney.
It's like knock, knock, knock. Hey, remember me when I was 2? Uh,
Yeah.
but
No.
no. So obviously I was going through you. Matter of fact, I think I remember taking you, being with you at the hospital when you were first diagnosed, like that something was
Yes.
really really bad.
Hmm.
I came, when Nana told me about the seizures,
Yes.
and then so the process was okay. You have a couple of options. You can get a
Yeah.
kidney from. You can be on the list, right? And the
Right.
list again is like a 6 or 7 year wait generally for anyone who needs a kidney. Now both your kidneys were shot, so you were on dialysis.
Yeah.
You
Like
needed one.
indefinitely. Right.
Indefinitely. That was it.
Yeah.
You were going to be on dialysis forever,
Yes.
and we'll talk about what that can do to you.
Yeah.
Because matter of fact, let's go there now. Dialysis helps you stay, obviously keeps you alive when you don't have
Yeah.
kidneys or you don't have kidney function, but it also damages you along the way.
It
One of
does.
the most compelling things that you told me, that you were going through, because there were also young people there. Now, older people, 80s, it may wear them down, but generally they're older. They may be in failing health,
Hmm.
and at the end of the day, the damage that dialysis might be doing to them is probably not going to outweigh the fact that they're getting older in failing health and or may die or suffer some other ailment that will really significantly hurt them
Yeah.
before the damage from the dialysis takes over.
Right. That's
But
true.
dialysis causes damage, and you
Yes.
told me a couple of stories about young people roughly your age in their 20s
Yeah.
who were going through dialysis just like you, and then and they the damage. Tell me about that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So dialysis actually in the long run it gives you heart problems.
Yeah.
In the short term, it could blind you.
Mm-hmm.
It could make your bones deteriorate to the point where
Mm.
now you cannot walk anymore, you can't move.
You knew of a
There
young
was
woman that
I
affected.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was this girl and I was at the time I was probably like 25. I want to say I was like a year in. She had to be like 27. I want to say she was
Mm.
a couple of years older than me, but she was so, and it's crazy because I watched it happen to her because I ended up switching my treatments times. So I started going in the afternoon. And she would come in and she was in a wheelchair, But I saw her literally getting out the wheelchair, getting into the chair herself. You get what I'm saying? Without any help.
Mm-hmm.
As a couple of weeks, I want to say, went by, and we exchanged words, whatever, because they used to call me the baby of the group because the morning sessions that I normally went to, I was the youngest. Actually, no, I was the second youngest. There was another guy there. He was like probably in his 30s, but I was the baby of the group.
Okay.
So we talked about that, how it was being young on dialysis.
Yeah.
Long story short, though, as the weeks went by, I ended up going to the middle section again because me being rebellious, not trying to wake up early in the morning. I had to go to the, in middle of the day sessions. She was there again, and I spoke to her, but this time she didn't speak back to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I could tell she was in a lot of pain, but she couldn't even move out of the chair. Like she had to be picked up out of the chair, out of the wheelchair into her chair. She
Damn.
couldn't roll herself in anymore. Somebody had to. She had what is it? A health aid
Yeah.
now, and So that day we didn't speak because, like I said, she was in a lot of pain. So like, a couple of days later, we ended up speaking, and I was just like, I hope everything is okay, and she just ended up telling me like, due to this, dialysis and everything, her bones are like deteriorating. Like
Right.
she can't move her legs. Like she has no feeling in her body really. Like, and she's saying like she's losing the functions in her arms and things like that. So it was really like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt so bad, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, because I'm not there, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how long it took to get there.
Yeah.
Or if it's for everybody, you know what I'm saying? I need,
Right.
things happen to some people and things don't happen to other people.
True.
But
True.
it was just like a wow, like I'm praying for you, and we're in the same situation, but it's like no, like I really want to pray for you more than I want to pray for myself because I'm
Right. I can
complaining
still
about,
walk.
you get what I'm saying? I'm complaining
Yeah.
about coming here, but I'm walking myself here, you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was a big deal. Like it does more, I mean, it helps you for the reason that it's supposed to help, to
Yeah.
filter you
Yeah.
out,
It keeps you alive, but
but
it's not
it does a
natural. It's
lot.
not a
No, it's
natural.
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it does a lot more damage though as time goes on, though, not in the beginning stages, but as time
Sure.
goes on.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. Because I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and then even the boy that I went with, or whatever, he
Yeah.
lost his eyesight. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
I asked him, was he blind before, and things like that. Because I'm a friendly person, so I don't want anybody to think I was just in their business and stuff like that. Like, no, I'm actually a friendly person, and I make a lot of friends in
You waking them
conversation.
up like, look, I
Yeah,
heard
like
you were
yeah.
blind. Tell me, were
No,
you
I
blind
would
before?
never, I would never do that.
Am I gonna go
But
blind?
no,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
honestly,
need to
but
know who
no,
sent
no.
you. Yeah.
But no, like, so I became friends with a lot of people, but and they just happened to tell me like, because we exchanged, experiences, like what were you doing before you got here and
For
things like
sure.
that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
he was fine, just like everybody else was, and as time went on, he just started losing his eyesight, so
Mm. Well,
it's
that I mean,
crazy.
that's what I mean. Learning from you, obviously being the first person that I knew that was afflicted in this manner, and hearing these stories, obviously seeing how you were going through what you had to go through, going through dialysis, being there three times a week, not
Yeah,
feeling well, in
yeah,
general, having seizures, and then of course, like I said in the beginning of the show, I have two other people that are very close to me,
yes,
that are similarly, well, where you were before you were able
right,
to get a donation. My sister-in-law Wendy,
yes.
and
Up to Wendy.
who you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the mighty Mike Hands, the New York hip hop community, and I'm sure there's others. Like I'm sure there's probably
Yeah,
people I know. Oh, my man from Newark that I live in Newark, New Jersey. I met a guy that worked in a building over here, and he needed the same kind of treatment. So you hear about, and meanwhile, like I see this guy every day. He's working, he's doing his thing, and I don't
yeah,
I don't know him. And then I get to talking one day, and he's like, I'm on dialysis, and
yes.
he's young. He was like, well, young, not as young as you, but about as young as me.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know who's going through this. You don't know
You
who's
don't.
struggling with this. And then when you hear about all the things you tell me and you tell the people about what they're um, going through, it could be really disheartening. There is, luckily, and I'm,
Yeah,
I'm sure some people don't, unfortunately, get a transplant in the time that they need. But kidney transplants in America is a pretty well-oiled machine, I want to say. From what I had to learn about when I went in to find out more information about what I had to do.
yeah.
So let me explain that to the people.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my daughter. She's going through these things, and she's struggling with it. She's going through it. Um, I find out, obviously I'm working with her. I don't know what this means and how serious this is. At the end of the day, I'm like, is this permanent? Like, she don't know if it's
Yeah.
permanent. We don't know we don't know nothing. We find out that, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's, this isn't going to fix itself.
Hmm.
That what you need is a transplant. So some time goes on. She's doing dialysis. Life goes on. And I'm like, well, what do you have to do to I find out about, that you can. I'm thinking the same thing as everyone else. You need a heart. You get a heart from a dead person.
Right.
A live person can't give you a heart,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
right? But come to find out
Well,
that with
that.
certain
Yeah.
right, this with certain transplants, a living donor is a very viable option. And in
Yeah.
fact, what I found out was when you get a cadaver donor, a deceased person donor, your kidney might last. This is the biggest fact that's going to blow some people away. This may not be your last kidney,
Yeah.
and you will
That's true.
probably need another transplant
Yes.
because you're young.
Yeah.
People will say that a deceased cadaver donor will last probably 8 to 10 years
Yeah.
in a best case scenario, maybe a little more. A living donor, because living makes a difference, and then genetics, I think, plays a
Yeah.
part. I'm no doctor, so don't inject yourself with bleach. But
Please don't.
I'm sorry I
Jesus
had to
Christ.
say it. I'm no doctor, but from what I understand, the length of time that you could survive with a living donor goes up to like 12 to 15 years. So there's a
Hmm.
several year difference generally in how well a successful transplant will go
Yeah.
from a living donor as opposed to a deceased donor. So
Hmm.
that all being said, I said, well, what do I got to do to see if I can be a living donor? What does this mean? It sounds crazy. Can I still drink alcohol? It's very important to me. They were like, no, that's your liver. I'm like, okay, good.
Right.
Because if you needed a liver, I'd be like, is there another way? I'm like, can't they 3D print a liver? I'd be doing like liver GoFundMe's. I'm like, can we just, I would do it, but I need to,
You need it. Yeah.
um, but they were like, no, it's very common. I don't know the numbers offhand. I want to say something like 20,000 a
Yeah.
year, or
It's
probably not a year,
about
but I think it's
probably a
like
little more, maybe
there's like, or maybe
more or
like
less. More or
there's
less.
many thousands of kidney transplants from
Yeah.
living donors to living recipients that happen every year.
Yeah.
It's a pretty safe process. So I go and I say, hey, what do I got to do? I'm like, well, the first thing you got to do is get a blood test. And well, first thing that's really good is what's your blood type? And
Yes.
I'm
Has
O
to be
negative,
something. Yeah.
right? And now, so we have to be the same blood type, but I'm O negative, which means I'm everybody's blood type. I got the sweet blood. I got the good blood. So I'm everybody's blood type, right? I'm very, very friendly in my bloodosity. So they're like, okay, Bong, you're good. That's step one. Step two is your blood, is the antibodies in your blood or in your body going to conflict with the antibodies of your intended recipient?
Yeah.
And here I think genetics plays a part. Another reason why I can't deny that you're mine, because our blood doesn't conflict.
Would have been a lot of serious questions asked.
I'd be like, why my blood conflicting? Why our bloods don't? Wait a minute. Why this other guy blood is
I'm
working?
like,
No.
listen, I live with this last name for 20.
Why my brother's blood? No. So turns out we do a blood test. It's I forget the technical name for it. And then that gets cleared once they say, okay, the antibodies is not something crazy. Evie reminds people that you look like me, so yeah, I know
Yeah.
the genes run strong, so I can't deny any of my kids, unfortunately. So you do the blood test. It's a match for these antibodies. It's all good. They say, okay, now it's just a matter of, are you healthy enough to do it? You've now become a probable donor. That the blood type matches, the antibody test is good. Are you healthy enough, me being me, to donate a kidney? And what they want to check for is specifically things that might give me problems if I only have one kidney. So diabetes. Do I have hepatitis? And I'm like,
Yeah.
probably not.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, some cheap strip clubs. You never know. but do you have are you pre-diabetic, right? A few other things. They gave me x-rays, cat scans, MRIs, blood tests, up the gazoo, like everything, not literally up the gazoo, because that would have been awkward. That has nothing to do with my kidney. Why are you in my gazoo? But and all the things kind of played out good. um I was healthy enough. I'm not pre-diabetic. I'm
Yeah.
not obese. I mean, I could lose a few pounds, but I'm not crazy. Um, and I lost a bunch of pounds after this, and then coronavirus, pandemic, quarantine, and now I got pounds
Just
again.
blew it out the way.
I'm saying, what a setback. Anyway, so then it's like, okay, are you willing to do it? And the whole time, I told you this, but you don't know this. The whole time was like, it's a different team. You have a medical team that's looking out for you in the
Mhm.
transplant department. I have a medical team that's looking out for me. They talk to
Yeah.
each other, but they also keep secrets because
Yeah.
they told me, they were like, yo, we know it's your daughter and we know you love her. And at any time that you decide you can't go through with this, we're just gonna, it's fine. You tell us, and we're gonna be like, sorry, you know, something
Something came up. Yeah.
something came up.
Mhm.
His match, the chemical, I don't know what they lie for you
Yeah.
because they'll
They don't
never,
want to hurt your,
but it could
the
also
other
be
person.
true. So you never
Yeah.
know. Um but they were super supportive of my decision to do it. They were making sure I really meant it. It is a significant thing. I am
Mhm.
not that old that I'm not going to possibly live for decades more. And
Mhm.
and what does that mean for me to only have one kidney? Now I'm susceptible to hepatitis, to diabetes, to coronavirus.
Mhm.
I have an underlying condition
Yeah.
because of the generosity or whatever you want to call it to what I did with you.
Yeah.
Whereas last year I wouldn't have been in that position. But
Right.
now I'm like more aware. If I get people, shouts to rest in peace to God, Fred the Godson. A lot of people are suffering kidney failure as a result of coronavirus.
Yeah.
The pneumonia it causes, and then
Yes.
organs fail, and kidneys are one. If I only got one now, so they wanted to make sure that I was aware of that, whether I was
Mhm.
comfortable with that, whether I was healthy enough for that. And you go through this whole thing. All in all, I think it took us like almost 2 years. I mean, we switched like medical organizations at one point, so that was
Yeah.
a setback. But other than
Yeah.
that, it took us like 2 years before, like, all
The
right,
initial like,
clearance time.
okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took a while.
Um, just what were you? I mean, and this is weird because it's me, but what did you? What went through your mind when your father,
Yeah, right.
you know what I mean, told you, hey, I'm good. We're gonna donate you a kidney. Let's do it.
It was like an unexplainable moment. Like, for one, the fact that you even wanted to do it was something. You get what I'm saying? Because I didn't ask. I never asked anybody, in my circle,
You never asked.
nobody, close to me, because I know what a big deal that is to ask someone. You get what I'm saying? And God
Right.
forbid they say no. And now
Right.
it's like we kind of got bad blood a little bit. You get what I'm saying? So I
Right.
just wouldn't ask. You get what I'm saying? So the fact that you offered was just like, when you first told me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think he's gonna. I'm like, yeah, he might do the testing and everything, but after a while, he's gonna be like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? And I have other brothers and sisters, and it was just a big deal for me,
I have a 5-year-old. At the time, I had a
exactly, my
newborn,
little sister, like, you know what I'm
and
saying?
I'm
So,
like, and it weighed on me. I gotta tell you,
of
like,
course,
it weighed on me. Like, So believe me, when you thought I wasn't gonna do it, I thought I wasn't gonna do it. I was like, no, I just take this task. They'll tell, it'd be like,
right,
no, and I'm like, oh, I tried, baby,
right,
And then they were like, you're
right,
good to go. I'm like, that's great. I really felt good about it, but then I was like,
yeah.
wait a minute, what does this mean? Like, be careful what you ask for. You know what I mean? Like, what did I
No,
get myself
honestly,
into? Right.
yeah. So,
Isn't there another
but
way? Can't you 3D print a kidney? Like,
no,
yeah.
honestly, so I was still nervous, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, if anything would have came up to, and you was like, Portia, I really can't do this or whatever. You're my dad. What am I really gonna hate you forever? And but I just would have, dealt with what I had to deal with, because
Right.
that's even the type of person that I am. It's like, okay, if this doesn't work, then something else will work eventually,
You're on the
sometime
list. You'll get,
down the
right.
line. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
You're young and
um,
strong enough that you'll probably be okay
right, like I could
enough.
deal
Yeah.
with this a little bit more. Of
Right.
course it's uncomfortable, and it's a lot on me, but I think I'll be a little bit okay.
Yeah.
Um, but it was a very indescribing feeling. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot. Like right now, it's like I'm about to like, oh, I gotta get it together. But it was just like, okay, this is really about to happen. Like I said, I always thought like, okay, one day I'm gonna get a transplant. One day I don't have to do this no more. But
Yeah.
for it to be like, nah, we just got cleared for this. Like, and I remember the exact day when they told me like, and at first it's like, you wait for something, and then it's like once it's like, okay, it's just there. Yo, it was like she told me like, yeah, so your dad got cleared. So we all like, oh, cool, wow, that's crazy. Okay, she's like, yeah, so we're gonna try to book the surgery for next week. I'm like, wait, what? Like,
Yo,
wait,
for
hold
real.
on now. Like now I'm nervous.
Where they were
Like
like, yeah, now we're
what?
good to, yeah.
It's
We
like
went
no,
from
like
we
tomorrow.
went
You want to
from
do it tomorrow? Like, and
we went from 0 to 100 real quick.
I'm like, wait, like
Yeah,
next week for real? And
that's
she's like,
it.
yeah, like we're
Why
gonna
would
try to get it cleared with the doctors, and yeah, let's do it. Like I'm like,
yeah, I had to go back in
yo,
like one more. They had to do like a last minute blood test
yes,
or
remember I had to do
urine
that
test.
stress
Yeah,
test or some crap.
yeah, and
That
that was
was
it.
crazy. It's like
And I
they
was
inject you. I feel like I was getting injected with gamma. What is that thing from Marvel? Felt like
you don't come out
it
to be
was
Captain
yo,
Marvel.
yo, I felt like they was injecting me with some stuff. Like
That's
it's a
funny.
weird feeling. It's like I'm about to get superpowers or something. But the test that we had to do, to just double check, at the end before we actually, set the actual date was like, okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It
I
was it
remember
was
it was
quick.
like around Easter time, and they was like, we could do it after Easter or
Yeah,
whatever. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm just like, okay, are you sure? And I'm asking the doctor, like, are you sure that you can like next week, like for real?
right.
And
You
it was
weren't
just like,
booked. Like you
wow,
weren't
yeah,
booked
like
already.
how you
Like you
just
can just clear your calendar like that.
right, like no, next week, like this date, and then I'm like, okay. There's like, well, we're gonna ask your father if he's fine with that, and then we'll get back to you. And then they must have called you and said the date or whatever, and it was just like, okay, boom, they called me
Yeah,
back, like, yeah,
I
we're
think we
for the
had
25th.
it was like I don't know what it was. There was like one date that like wasn't gonna work. It was like
Yeah, I think it was before. It was supposed to be. They gave me two options. It was supposed to be before Easter or after Easter, and I think you were doing something the week before Easter or that
yeah.
week. I think it was like a Friday. They was trying to do it, and I think you was going somewhere. You
I think it was Easter weekend. I don't know what it was, but
doing
whatever it was,
something.
yeah, whatever it
Yeah,
was like I was like, well, how about the next like Thursday, Wednesday?
yeah. And they
And
were
they were
just
like,
like,
that's fine.
yeah,
And we're
like
like, okay.
whatever works for you.
I'm like, y'all not giving me enough time to change my mind. What am I gonna do? Well, that's true. We go in, like time passes mad quick.
Yo, it was so quick.
We met in the hospital in the morning.
Yeah.
We like we both checked in separately. I took off all my watches and rings and face tattoo no, I don't have face
Piercings, like
piercings. That's
right.
what I'm trying to think of. I messed up the joke. Thank you for covering me. You know me so well. And that's what it was. We didn't have someone to watch the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts to Brianna,
That's my sister.
older girl faces who
Yeah.
flew up from Atlanta, Georgia, to help us do this, watch the baby. Just that first weekend.
Yeah.
So she came through and helped us out. It's good when you have a lot of kids because you have a lot of people that can assist you in times of need. Um, so yeah, it was real quick. We went in. We both went in. Then we're like, bye everyone. They put us in the gowns and we're all together. And then it's just you and me, and we're like
Yeah.
through the the on the gurneys on the
Yeah.
on the. And then we're in a thing, and then we talked for a little while, and they came in. Hi, I'm the anesthesiologist. Great, cool. Hi, I'm the nutritionologist. Great. Hi, I'm the doctor. I'm gonna cut you open. Oh, great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you been drinking? No, because I have. Okay, great. Um, Everyone gets, and then like we go in and I go first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but let me tell. Can I tell the story
Yeah, of
before?
course.
Why? So while we were sitting there, because it's like a waiting room kind of people that's about to get surgeries. Not even probably the same type of surgery, but
Right,
some type of organ transplant surgery.
right.
And we're just sitting there. And like I said, I'm a person that prays a lot, and I have like a lot of confidence in like weird times. And I look over to my dad, and he just looks so like worried and just like nervous.
I mean,
And I'm like, Daddy, can you please calm down because you're gonna get me worried, and you just have to think positive, and everything's gonna be okay. And because also my dad never really had any major surgeries really. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you
no.
had any like
I had never been
removal or
I had
anything,
never been in a hospital for more than like a couple of hours. I'd
Right,
never
and
spent the
here
night in the
I
hospital.
am. I've been in and out of the hospitals. I had
Right.
multiple surgeries. You know what I'm saying? So it's something I was kind of familiar with. I want to say not used to, because I don't think you ever get used to being in the hospital. But I
Right.
was definitely familiar with it. So I'm just like kind of cool. And he's just like, yeah. And I'm like, Daddy, how you? He's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Like, you're not good,
I'm
Daddy.
fine. No, everything's great. This is great. This is the greatest thing ever. Wow, look, doctors.
But
Oh, how nice. Great.
and every doctor that came, he was like, oh, who's that? Like, what doctor is that? I'm like, Dad,
Right.
that's not a doctor.
Right. I'm like, well, does he know a doctor? Can I see your board
Yeah, but
certifications, please?
yeah,
I
but no,
wasn't
okay.
nervous. I was a little nervous. It might have been like showing on my face, but at the
Yeah,
same time, I was also, because I hadn't been into anything, like I hadn't done this before. I was very curious, so I was like, "Oh, this is
yeah,
cool. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is how it works.
yeah.
Oh, so like that was really interesting." Um, I want to cut to like how I felt afterwards, how you felt afterwards, because again,
Yes.
for anyone paying attention, this isn't just me and my daughter talking. This is to let people know that there are people in your life who might be afflicted with kidney failure.
Mhm.
It is something you could do as a living human being, coronavirus or no coronavirus. There are kidney donations happening right now. I guarantee it. I'm sure they didn't put them on. They say, oh, you can't have elective surgery, but this isn't that elective. This is like to save someone's life. So,
Yeah.
again, you probably know somebody who might need a transplant. You might have thought about it. Again, I know two other people close to me, my
Mhm.
sister-in-law Wendy, my homeboy Mike Hands, Christopher Rogers,
What the heck?
who are in the same boat. If I had more kidneys to give,
Mhm.
I'm telling you right now, knowing what I went through, except the catheter part, because F that. But everything else, the scar, the month long recovery, all the things, the pain, I couldn't get up,
Yeah.
like the incision. I have a C-section scar. I look
Yeah.
like I had a baby. It was rough, but I would do it again in a heartbeat. That's what I'm trying to get across to anyone who might be listening. It's not just me and my daughter. It's a real deal. Some of you could trust. You know me. Y'all know me, and some of y'all know her but don't know me, but y'all know us. We're telling you the truth. Like, this is real. You can do this. You
Yeah.
can do this to a stranger, but you could absolutely for sure do it for someone you love. So that being said, I go into the surgery. I'm knocked out in 7 seconds. I go in first. What I understand is they put us in a big kind of suite, which is totally shut out and sterile. And
Yeah.
to minimize the time that the kidney is out of me and into you, they bring
Mhm.
me in, they knock me out, they prep me, they cut me open. There's four bullet hole, I call them scars because that makes me gangster. There's four small incisions, and what they do is they have like a camera that goes in, and a
Mhm.
blade of some
Mm.
sort, and a probably a torch. I don't know. I
Torch,
make,
no.
yeah, like the well, they gotta they cat
Maybe. Oh
yeah, they
yeah.
catheterize the thing.
To take it off,
Sure, to close it.
nip it,
A
something. I don't
staple gun. I think they
I think
have.
it's what is it? Something stitches,
I don't know how they close off
vanishing
the
stitches. Something is called. I can't think
vanishing
of it
stitch.
right now.
So they have all
It's
these
not
things.
vanishing, but yeah.
It's all these things we just make. We're like the president now. Yeah, they inject light into your stomach and disinfects your organs. So you get these four. I'm telling you, as a recipient, what you got to go through. I get four holes in me. Right, they look like bullet holes. They're not that big. They're yay big. They're 2 centimeters, but there's four of them. And through there, they stick the knives and the cameras, and then they cut, snip, close, whatever, and then they have this, maybe I'd say 5-inch incision. If you've seen a C-section scar, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's pretty much the same thing. Um, and that's where they basically pull it out from. Now,
Hmm.
back in the days, they used to do it through your back because that was like
Right.
kind of the easier ways to your kidney. But then they had to break a rib that saw a rib off. It was
Yeah.
crazy. It was like
That I
barbaric,
don't think I even would have wanted to do a transplant, but yeah.
bro. I'm like, my ribs, yo. But then you could take a rib and make a woman. So I don't know. It's the whole biblical thing. But bottom line is, I got these four scars, like incisions, which are nothing. They were like little cute little scars, and then this giant gash in my between my belly button and my goodies, and and it hurt like hell afterwards. And it was like there were 2 days, bro, that it was like, I don't know if you've ever been in a really bad car accident. I don't know if you've ever had major surgery. if you ever torn your Achilles. I didn't have, I never, it's probably like that. I've never had any of those things, so I don't know. But it was very uncomfortable. I couldn't lift myself out the bed. It was so difficult. It's in your core, so you can't like bend up, you can't stand up. You're really vulnerable. And for a good week, I was that, it was better every day, no question.
Hmm.
Second, third, there's constipation. You got to take
Yeah.
pills. You're taking Percocets, but then the Percocets make it so you can't go to the bathroom. So you don't want to take the Percocets, but you got to take the Percocets because it hurts. And the Percocets are Percocets. They're good. It was madness for me. And then a few days later, it's better. And then a few days after that, it's better. Yeah, I'm up and walking around. I work from home, so I could have gone back to work in 2 weeks
Hmm.
easily, and I probably was. I was probably dabbling and stuff. Um, I did feel vulnerable. It was actually, this was interesting and totally an aside from everything else. But I took a walk once with my wife, and we went around a corner, and she was great, by the way. She was such a great caregiver. My daughter, 5 year old, like 4 year old at the time, and she's like, "Daddy, you boo boo. I won't, I'll be very
Yes.
careful." And she's helping me off the couch, and she's bringing me
Yeah.
cookie. She's so good. I took a walk around the block and I realized, like, for a moment, I'm like, I can't protect. Like, if someone's going, "Ha, I'm gonna kill your wife," I'm like, I can't fight you. You know, I
Please
don't.
don't. Please don't.
It was nice knowing you. Like, I can't. So I felt vulnerable for like a week, and because I didn't have any strength, I didn't have any, any. But after about a week, week and a half, okay, I'm moving around. I'm still tender. 2 weeks back to work, like at home. But if I was working like a job, I might have took another week. 3, 4 weeks, okay, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I still know what happened. The stitch is starting to go away. It's kind of starting to heal up, wheel up, bring it back, come rewind. And then like 6 weeks later, not even a month and a half, about the time we've been stuck at home, it was like nothing happened. It
Yeah.
was like I didn't feel it. Now, to those who are wondering, you can donate a kidney because you can live perfectly comfortably with one kidney.
Yeah.
There's no difference to your life. Your kidneys are both equipped to, help you rid your body of waste and pee and do all the things. Each kidney, they told me, was like 50% of their capacity. How much they're being used. You
Yeah.
take one away, you're like, 100%. That kidney's going to be. No, it goes to about 80%, and
Yeah.
then it actually grows a little to compensate.
Yeah.
There are some people. What I found out, this was cool. I found out, interesting, that there are some people who are born with one kidney. They don't even know they don't have two kidneys. They don't even
Yeah.
know. Like, they go
Yeah.
through their entire life and
Yep.
they don't know they only have one kidney. The nurse was telling me, she's like, "Yeah, my brother only had one kidney. He didn't find out till he
Yeah.
had to
The
go to
nurse.
surgery."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the bottom line is you can function absolutely, positively, 100% with no. I started kickboxing classes. Shouts to CKO Nork. Shouts to the whole CKO Nork family. I lost weight. I got in really in the best shape. I'm almost 50 years old. I got in the best shape of my life probably since I was like 30, 32 years old after I donated a kidney. And I'm probably
Hmm.
still there. Just like I said, got them quarantine pounds.
Right.
So I'm trying to tell you, it's something that you can do.
Hmm.
It's something you could bounce back from. There would be nothing in the world that would today if I didn't think about it. There is nothing. I don't barely see the scar. I have no residual effects. I don't have to take any medicines. I
Hmm.
just got to live a good life. Don't have unprotected sex with, hepatitis B chicks. What? But don't. It's a good advice for anyone. Don't go and get diabetes. Like, watch what you eat. Like, just live
Yeah.
a healthy life. Protect that kid. Don't play pro football. And I'm like, oh man, I was gonna play pro football, but now I'm not. Okay, fine. And you'll be okay. Don't go jousting. I mean, whatever. Um, I went to medieval times. It was awesome.
Joust.
Um, so that's it for me. What have you had to do, and what's the difference that you have seen from no working kidneys to
Yeah.
daddy's fat, juicy, delicious kidney up in there doing that work?
Well, the only side effect that I had that was kind of was because your kidney was so big. and my body, and I'm a very tiny person,
That's what
they
she
had
said.
to shut up, daddy. They had to actually stretch a nerve in my leg to fit the kidney in. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
weird.
when I woke up, I could not feel my left leg. Like it was so hard for me to move it up and down. I could hardly walk on it. I mean, it took me like a long time. Like I want to say maybe like almost a month to kind of be
Yeah.
able to fully walk on it. You get what I'm saying? Without like limping and putting more weight on one side.
Right.
But besides that, that was minimum because before, I had to be on a diet, and it's actually weird because when you're on dialysis, you're on a diet. It's like you can't have sodium, you can't have too much phosphorus, you can't have too much potassium,
Potassium. Yeah.
like a lot of things. So I had to cut out a lot of things in my lifestyle to not eat. And at the time, you get what I'm saying? Like I said, I was 24 years old. I'm like, I eat everything. What are you talking about? I can't eat
Right.
bananas. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, okay. But once I got the transplant, I can eat whatever I want.
Right.
I have to be on a restricted diet. I can eat as many bananas as I chose to, wanted to. And that was
Right.
honestly the first thing that I wanted once I woke up.
Was
I'm like, can I have
bananas.
banana? They're like, hold on a second, like let your body get used to the new kidney, and then you could,
Right.
you know,
You can't just jump in and
yeah.
be
And
slamming bananas willy
as my
nilly.
boyfriend, I was like, can you please bring me banana pudding? Like he's like, no, I cannot. Like you're mugging, like But like I
He's
said, so I can
smuggling in.
mad craziness.
That's funny.
So but yeah, so after I can eat whatever I want. There is no restriction. There is no fluid restriction. Before, I couldn't drink a lot of water, even something simple as water. I couldn't drink too much water. I couldn't drink too much juice, tea, things like that. Now it's like I can drown myself in water if I chose to, which I don't
Right.
urge anybody to do. But if
Right.
I because now I can use the bathroom. That was another thing. I didn't use the bathroom for 4 years.
Isn't that crazy?
As crazy as that sounds, and my best friend Kim used to always say, like, bro, you're an alien. Like, that's awesome. And I'm like, bro, that's not awesome, but okay. Whatever
Right.
makes you,
You're like, yo, you don't have to get off the dance floor.
like, right. Like, you could just go all night long. And
You're
it's like,
never gonna break the seal.
if I had the energy, of course, but no. So, yeah, like, even being able to pee, like, and even right after the transplant, they're like, you're peeing right now. And I'm like, what? Because you don't even have the urge. Like, when you have to pee, you be like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get that urge back, but it was so crazy because they're showing me, in the little catheter, like this is
Right,
your
because
pee.
you're still in the first parts. You're connected to a catheter. You're not getting up, going to use the bathroom like a normal person
Right,
yet. Right.
right.
But
So
it's
it
like
was
pee.
amazing. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? Like, wow, thank you. Like, So
The things we take
yeah.
for granted, right?
No, honestly. And so like I said, you can eat whatever you want now. You can drink as much as you want. The only thing is, like for the rest of my life, basically, or however long I live, hope it's 100. But I have to take immunosuppressant pills, which is for the
Right.
kidney, because at when anytime any person that gets like a new organ into their system, your body tries to fight it off. So
Yeah.
the medicine is to not get it to fight this
Right.
new thing that's entering in your body. So
Right.
I have to take like well, I don't take it anymore, but in the beginning it was like antibacterial medicine so that you don't catch bacteria on the new organ. It was like I still have to take blood pressure pills, but not as much, like a little dose of it.
Yeah.
And actually my blood pressure has been 120% fine, like normal as ever, like as no spikes, as no.
Amazing.
Then it's like I'm a normal person. Like I'm back to being a healthy kid. Like, but hold on, not a kid, but you know,
Still
um,
a kid.
yeah. So
Evie said you had to take the mouthwash.
oh my gosh, my stepmom, like and it's crazy because you wouldn't think like a mouthwash. Why do you need a mouthwash? But because your body is open and your immune system is down, you can catch infections anywhere in your body, in your mouth, even like you brush your teeth and stuff, but you still have to take it.
Yeah.
You can get it in your throat, like weird
Right.
places. Like it's just a lot.
You're just
Um,
being super, super cautious in the beginning.
right, because
And
you're very vulnerable to a lot of colds or things like that. So
yeah.
it was that. Yeah, in the beginning it was a lot of pills. Actually, it was like about 12 pills, I want to say. But as time went on or whatever, it got lesser. So now it's like 7 pills, I want to say. I think 6, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. I think it's about 6 pills. But it's all to help the kidney. It's all to help it grow. And then now it's a year for us. So I think 2 of the medicines I get cut off because I don't need them anymore. So
Okay.
That's awesome
All
because,
right,
and
graduation.
we get frequent blood work done, so just to, make sure everything is cool,
Right. Right.
everything
They
is
take
working.
they take care of us a lot in follow ups. I've had
Yeah.
like five follow ups. It was like 2 weeks and 6 weeks and 3 months and 6 months and a year.
Yeah.
Yes, they scheduled me for a year now. We can't go in person,
Right.
but they're gonna do a telehealth
Yeah,
with me, and then they're
virtual.
gonna send me to a lab core just to get blood drawn and such. But I'd been to the doctor in October or November, my regular doctor for like a yearly checkup, and they did the blood work and the yearly everything. And like you'll know because there's a certain level of chemical in your bloodstream
Yeah.
that measures how good your kidneys perform. It's called carotene. The carotene, creatinine.
I'm like, Daddy, carotene is for your hair.
No, carotene I think is a horse tranquilizer. All right, creatinine.
It's creatinine levels,
Yes.
yes. It's
And that level will fluctuate depending on whether your kidneys are functioning one
yeah.
way or the other. When your kidneys are dead in the water, your creatinine was like 12.
No,
It was,
seriously. It
yeah.
was like 13 and a half.
Your creatinine is supposed to be around 1.
Yeah. Like at the highest it's supposed to be is like a 1.2.
Oh yeah, 1.2, 1.3.
So to a
Right.
13,
And
like
most normal people, so the range is like zero point 0.7 to
right,
like 1.3 in
right.
regular ass people. When you have kidney failure, it's like 12. It's off the
Yeah,
charts because it's not working. There's no creatinine in your blood whatsoever. Your kidneys don't work.
yeah,
When you go through a transplant, when you have one kidney, as long as you're within that range, that like zero point 0.7 to like 1.3, something 1.25, you're good. You're like a regular ass person.
yeah.
I think the last time I did something, it was like 1.1 or something, and on the way down. What are
Mm.
you at now? Last time you checked.
1.2.
That's what I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
within the range of a
Yeah.
regular ass person.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to salute you, regular ass person,
Thank you.
and who's making it happen with one kidney, just like I am. Anyway, to anyone who's paid attention tonight, shouts to everybody that's been checking in. I've been talking with my daughter 1 year ago today. We transplanted kidneys to one another. I
Yeah.
gave her my kidney. She needed a kidney. She was in dire straits. She had no kidney function. She was in dialysis 3 days a week, several hours per day, and on the list to get a transplant.
Yeah.
But I went through the things, I did all the things that you need to do to check whether you could be a donor. Turns out I was eligible. Turns out I'm not a punk, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna give this kidney, and I don't care. Um, and even though I guess I almost, according to her, I almost chickened out on the operating table, but we made it through. It's been a year. The
Yeah.
scariest part of this whole thing, as we wrap up, I have to do a live DJ party with the Brick City Comedy Review at
Yeah.
Bonfire Radio at 9 o'clock. So follow
Yeah.
up with me. Tune in. We're gonna spin some dance tunes and jam it up on bonfireradio.com as soon as we're done with this. Um, One of the scariest things that I had to decide as a donor, and in a dual role as a donor and also as your dad, the most ominous part of this whole thing is that I could go through this entire process that you heard me describe the last 20 minutes, save Portia from this entire process that you heard her talking about for the last 40 minutes, donate kidney, blood, genetics, perfect surgery, everything goes
Yeah.
perfectly. Body takes the kidney, great. She takes the pills, fights off any infections, does the horrible mouthwash, does all the things. And there is no guarantee,
Yeah.
not a single solitary guarantee that that kidney is going to work 24 hours later.
Yeah.
24 hours later, that kidney could have failed,
Yeah.
and we would have been both there like, damn.
Yeah.
So it's always a gamble.
Hmm.
Um, but it's you're my daughter. I love you. And I would take a, how you say you would take a bullet for people, you would take a bullet for your kids. Well, I figure if I get shot, it'll probably just damage a kidney. So to me, it's like doing that. I take a bullet for you and give up a kidney. I'm not trying to get like 50 cent. If you gonna shoot me nine, I ain't got enough. I can't take a bullet for all these kids. God damn it, I'll die. I got a lot of
Wow.
kids, but and yeah, it bothered like it worries like please Aria, please anyone, no other kid, no other person, please for God's
Yeah.
sakes, none of my kids have any kidney problems. I've already given a kidney. I got no more. Um, I'm glad that it took. I'm glad that it stayed. It's
Yeah.
been working a year later. Everything has been as perfect. Everything they told me that would happen to me as a donor happened. They prepared me. Shouts to Mount
Mhm.
Sinai. Shouts
Yeah.
to everyone on my health team. They
Mhm.
really do uh, uh, like
Care.
they embrace you. You know what I mean? Because you're doing something really important. And the same thing with you. I think in your team, they prepared you. They let you know what it was
Yeah.
going to be like. But you had some complications with the nerve and the whole thing. And but that's they were thorough.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me do it if I wasn't likely to recover and do
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So I can't say enough. And I talked about it last year, and I'm telling you, so I'm doing a whole live about an hour. Shouts to JP Justice. What up, brother?
Mhm.
Shouts to Brianna tuned in. Shouts to Mike Moet once again. Valencia, who's always on the check-in. Evie, who holds everybody down. Give it up once. If y'all know Evie,
Woo, woo, woo,
Ivanka
woo,
40.
woo, woo,
If y'all know
woo.
her, shouts to Rissa. Shouts to everybody tuned in and paying attention. Shouts to Forrest Hobbs.
Forest.
What? What
Wow.
up? What up, Gordon? That's my man. So listen, shouts to family and friends and strangers. Share this video right now if you haven't. Share it. Let other people see what I'm talking about. I know I'm like this kind of, piddling media personality. I'm a very great person. I just very humble. Um, People pay attention to what I say. We talk about hip hop a lot. We talk about, journalism. I'm talking about social justice all the time. And I appreciate the fact that all those roads have led me here to be able to tell you a couple of things about how wonderful my daughter is, how resilient, strong, powerful, beautiful, queenly, regal she is, how brilliant, ambitious,
You.
energetic she is. Um, the fact that I could even do something besides create such a masterpiece, the fact that I could have a part in boosting that and amplifying
Yeah.
that and letting her live and giving her life 100% is probably the proudest thing I've ever done in my life. And so it's an honor to know you. It's an honor
Mm.
to be your
I'm about to
dad.
cry. I'm about to
You make me
cry.
proud. Um, and I love everything about you. I'm so glad that we're able to sit here 1 year later because 1 year ago, 1 year and a day ago, I was scared shitless.
Yes.
Um, but today I would do it again. I would do it for like, any one of my kids.
Yes.
I would recommend I do it for my wife. I would recommend that if you know someone that needs this, get tested. Just see what happens. See if your blood type matches. See if
Yeah.
your antibodies match. Think about it. It's 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 nothing. You can do this.
Yeah.
And so I recommend it. I'm an advocate of it. And if you need to talk about what you really go through,
Yeah.
like as a donor, you're gonna be like, I don't know, does my penis work? Yes, your penis is great. It's fine. I mean, not immediately, because you can't, but I mean, in time, sure. There's no penicular after effects. It's fine. You could drink, you could be an alcohol if you were
Yeah.
alcoholic. I want to still be an alcoholic. Fine, you could be an alcoholic. Just I
Yeah.
mean, like you shouldn't be an alcoholic
Yeah. I
going
know.
into it. Right. But I'm saying look, talk to me. I'll tell you the real deal. Hit me up
Yeah.
anytime. I don't care who you are. If you're a stranger,
Same here.
hit
Same
me up.
here.
And same thing. I know you'll give, advice. You'll give inspiration to anyone
Mhm.
who's going through it, young, old, or in between. Let people know what you're doing right now, where they can find you. I know you got a little talk show thing happening on the IG, and
I do.
so tell people where they can find you, how they can follow you. You're a magnanimous person. I think you're fantastic, and you guys talk some ish on your
Yeah.
show. I like it if you like, if you like following celebrities and drama and talk and life and real life stuff. Like y'all are doing it Tell people where they can find you.
Thank you. So my personal page is Bad Mrs. with two A's. Mrs. like Misses.
You see it right there. That's
Okay.
on IG.
I can't see it, but where y'all see
I
it at?
know.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And then my talk show page is the period sister period talk period show. So it was very long. I couldn't put it all together.
The period. I'm writing it in the
Yeah,
chat.
sister period
Sister period
talk
talk
period show.
show.
So you
All
guys can
right.
follow on there.
They'll
It's me,
find it.
other sister actually. That's the host of it, and with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
creator. So
That's
we talk a lot of ish, like my dad said. But
so
we are
good.
classically ratchet. So if you're into stuff like that, you could definitely follow us.
Classically ratchet. I like it. I like it. She's like, I will play a violin and cut you. That's great.
Seriously.
I'm O negative. Yeah. All right. That's what's up. Where's Carter?
Carter is playing Fortnite.
All
As
right.
always.
All right. Well, shouts to Carter, the young king in the
Yeah.
building. Shouts to you, my love. I'm glad you're feeling well. I wish we could have
Shout
been
to
together.
you, Dad. I love you. Like honestly, best thing you could ever. I can never repay you. I love you so much. Thank you for this gift of another life. You know, because you helped create me. So you helped create me twice. So you're a little more special than my mom's.
Well, I mean, I'll take it. You know what I mean? If I had to. I'm good at
I,
creating lives, as you can tell.
uh,
Say hi, Portia.
Hi, Portia.
hi, Aria.
The world famous baby girl faces on the check-in. All right, listen, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
I gotta get ready for the Brick City Comedy Review,
Thank you for
Newark
this
Social
too.
Distancing Club
Yes.
on Bonfire Radio. Following this, bonfireradio.com. If you're listening, go to bonfireradio.com, and I will be there at 9 o'clock,
Mhm.
spinning my heart out. But once again, thank you, Porsche. I'm glad we were able to. I'm glad we were able to do this.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
it's like a public service announcement. I feel like if people see how cool we are 1 year after,
Yeah.
they might think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
last thoughts you want to share with the world?
Love you guys. Like my dad said, if you can try to do it, you're actually really saving somebody's life. It doesn't have to be a family member, it could be a complete stranger, but you are really, really saving somebody's life and you're giving them another chance to do what they, do in life. So
Yeah.
definitely
In
try to do.
fact, in fact, what they told me was you're saving two people's lives because you're donating to the
Yeah,
person, but you're also taking them off the list,
yes, to move somebody else up. So
which moves somebody else up. This is
mhm.
like one and a half lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rounding up. I'm be like, I saved two lives, yo. I'm rounding up.
You did.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
As always, kicking it with you. I'm glad we got this opportunity to do this.
Yes.
And as soon as the world gets back to some kind of normal,
Yeah, we
uh,
gotta go turn
we
up.
we will celebrate properly. One
Love.
time for your mind. This is your man Manny Faces, oldest girl faces. Hashtag oldest girl faces,
Hmm.
aka Porsche Delancey, aka Bad Misses. We're here celebrating 1 year. 1 year ago, right now, we were struggling to stay awake.
Oh my God. Pain, everything.
Oh yeah, but I came in like 4 hours. I came in at midnight, and I
Walk into my room like, bro, go lay down.
yo, the lady was like, "I'd love to see you walking." Like sometime I was like, "I'm walking. I'm good."
She's like, no, not like an hour after you get surgery, like
No,
tomorrow. Like,
I need to see her. And you're like, I can't feel my leg. I can't feel my leg. And I'm like, no, but how's the kidney work? I'm peeing. Well, okay, I can't feel my leg. It was madness. Shouts to Tap. Shouts to Nana, Grandpa, everybody who held you down. And shouts to Carter, my man, my mellow. And shouts to everybody tuned in and listening. Thank you for spending this
yes,
time with me.
you
Very
guys.
personal, but I felt it was important that we share this information with the world and keep it as authentic as possible.
Yes.
So that's it.
All
All right.
righty.
Love
Love you.
y'all. If y'all missed it, wheel it up, bring it back, come rewind. If you're tuned in now, live, watching me right now, in about 45 minutes, I'll be on bonfireradio.com. I'll put the link in www.bondfire. Radio. I'm writing it here like a.
Make sure you guys tune in because I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna have a little celebration time.
That's it. Or the TuneIn app at Bonfire Radio. I'm DJing there live alongside in conjunction in association with my good friends, the Brick City Comedy Review. We're doing the Newark Social Distancing Club. We're turning up for Newark, New Jersey, Brick City in the house. I'll also be back every Sunday from noon to 3 p.m. on Bonfire Radio with the Sunday R&B Brunch Jam. We talking about 40 years worth of music for your grandmama and them. You could bring your whole if you all quarantine together, so y'all could just turn on the radio, turn on bonfireradio.com at noon, and then the old people can come out, and then then they can switch off with the next generation.
Yeah.
So I go chronologically. So we'll go back from the 60s and we'll bring it all the way up to current. It's a beautiful time. It's a great vibe to have on in the background while you cooking your Sunday breakfast or you're cleaning the house. Or you're, just as they say on the weekends during quarantine, it's like, oh, it must be nice to have a rest from all your rest. So yeah, you'll be doing that on your weekends. I'll be there with you on bonfireradio.com. Portia, thank you once again. I appreciate you. I love you.
Of course, Daddy. Love you.
All right. I'll see y'all soon.
Okay.
All right. Peace. Meet me on bonfireradio.com in 45 minutes if you tune in live. Bonfireradio.com. It's your man, Manny Faces, and we out.